When I work with students who are struggling with the ToK essay, one of the first questions I ask them is about the knowledge framework. More often than not, they've never even heard of the knowledge framework. The most important thing for students to understand in order to write a good ToK essay is the knowledge framework. So, in today's video, we are going to look at the knowledge framework. Welcome to ToK Today. My name's Daniel and I enjoy writing and vlogging about ToK. Whether you're a ToK student or a teacher new to the course, understanding the knowledge framework is essential for doing well in ToK. The knowledge framework helps us to structure our exploration of knowledge, identify knowledge issues, and develop strong knowledge arguments, all crucial skills for the ToK essay and useful for the ToK exhibition. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what the knowledge framework is, how it works, and why it matters. So let's get into it. The knowledge framework is a structure that helps us to explore the areas of knowledge, AoKs, such as history, the natural sciences, or the arts. It provides 4 key elements that we use to analyse different forms of knowledge. The first element is the scope, which looks at the nature and purpose of knowledge in each AoK. The second element are perspectives, which looks at how different viewpoints in the AoK influences our understanding. The third element is methods and tools, and these are the processes that are used to produce knowledge in the AoK. And the final element is ethics, and these are the ethical conditions that arise when producing or using knowledge in the AoK. This framework is the core of ToK. It enables us to reflect critically on how knowledge is produced, shared, and evaluated in different disciplines. Now, in the next section of this video, I'll go through each element in more detail and give some examples. However, before I do that, please could I ask you to press like if you're getting value from this video and consider subscribing to my channel for more ToK content. Okay, let's go back to the more detailed explanations of each element of the knowledge framework. So let's start with the scope, and this examines what knowledge is studied and why it's studied. For instance, in the natural sciences, we seek to understand the natural world through observation and experimentation, and in history, we attempt to interpret past events using sources and evidence. Now, the key questions in the scope include things like, what are the key ideas in this area of knowledge? And what motivates the pursuit of knowledge in this field? And what is the history of knowledge development in this area of knowledge? And what are the limits of what we can know? Okay, moving on to the next element, that's the perspectives section of the knowledge framework. Now, obviously, different cultures, historical periods, and personal experiences shape how we view knowledge. However, it's not just the knowers who have perspectives. Perspectives also exist at a larger scale within the area of knowledge. For example, in the arts, we have different genres or artistic movements. In AoK history, we have historians who focus on big structures, such as monarchies or governments, and other historians who focus on the everyday experiences of individuals. In the human sciences, we have different economic theories which arise from different political or ideological perspectives. The key questions for the perspectives section of the framework include things like, how do different perspectives influence what we know? Are some types of knowledge more open to interpretation than other types of knowledge? And so on. The third section of the knowledge framework is the methods and tools section. Now, methods and tools concerns the ways in which knowledge is produced in each AoK. The ways in which knowledge is produced affects what is known and what it means to us. So, for example, the scientific method in the natural sciences involves hypothesis testing and experimentation, and it leads to knowledge with high reliability. Whereas in the arts, knowledge is produced using a far wider range of methods and tools, which leads to lower reliability, but maybe higher validity for the knower. And the sorts of questions that are raised in the methods and tools section are, how do we gain knowledge in this area? How do we produce knowledge in this area? What are the strengths and limitations of these methods? What effect has the method of production had on the knowledge itself? Now, the fourth and final section of the knowledge framework is ethics. And this element deals with the ethical and sometimes moral implications of the production and use of knowledge in the AoK. Ethical issues which are specific to each AoK can arise from the use and production of knowledge in that AoK. For example, in the natural sciences, does the eventual use of knowledge always justify the means by which it may have been produced? In history, should the perspectives of a wide range of people be included in the historical record? In the arts, should artistic knowledge be ethical? And if so, who decides what is ethical? Some key questions that arise from this section include, should the pursuit of knowledge be limited by ethical considerations? And what responsibilities do we have as knowers? So let's now move on to why the knowledge framework is important for ToK students to understand. And the knowledge framework is not just a checklist, it's a tool for making deeper connections across areas of knowledge. Now, it helps you to analyse knowledge critically rather than just accepting facts. It helps you to make comparisons between disciplines, and it helps you to identify knowledge issues which are the foundation of a strong ToK essay. For example, comparing the methods used in sciences and history highlights how knowledge is established differently in each field. Science relies on replicable experiments, whereas history relies upon the interpretation of evidence. This then starts to explain why scientific and historic knowledge are different and why they can be used for different purposes. So, how can you apply the knowledge framework in your ToK essay? Well, understanding the knowledge framework is crucial when writing your ToK essay. Every ToK essay question asks you to write about 2 areas of knowledge. You have to compare 2 areas of knowledge, find the similarities and differences. Now, when evaluating a prescribed title, you'll need to consider how parts of the knowledge framework link to that prescribed title. For example, you might ask, what aspects of the scope does this question address? Or how might perspectives lead to different interpretations? Or what methods and tools are involved, and what are their effects on knowledge? Are there ethical considerations linked to this claim? And so on and so on. For example, if you had the title, Is Some Knowledge Less Open to Interpretation Than Others?, which is one of the exhibition questions, but it could come up in the essays, you could discuss scientific knowledge being more objective and based on empirical evidence versus historical knowledge being more interpretative and shaped by perspectives and sources. And then you could apply the knowledge framework in such a way to make a balanced critical argument. Okay, I hope you've sort of got the idea. Let's just summarise what's gone on in this video. So, first of all, the knowledge framework is a structured way to explore knowledge. It consists of the scope, perspectives, methods, tools, and ethics. It helps you to analyse and compare areas of knowledge, and mastering it is essential for writing a strong ToK essay and engaging deeply with the knowledge issues. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share with ToK students and teachers maybe. And if you have any questions, then drop them in the comments below or email me, daniel@toktoday.com. Thank you so much for watching, and stay ToKtastic, my friends.